Okay, so today's lesson we're going to be doing um, a little work with figuring out the main idea and the supporting details of a story. So the objective of today is to um, be able to read a story, identify the main idea, and then use supporting details that support that main idea.
Are we going to use those books?
We're going to use one of those books, and I've got a couple stories down there. I've got a couple worksheets for us to work on. We've got a lot to work on for these, okay?
For these two?
Hmm?
For these?
Yeah, for understanding the main idea and the supporting details.
And to
Because
do?
this is a really important part of reading, so I really want to be thorough with this, okay?
Because this is 2 lessons in one?
Well, it's kind of 2 lessons, but these...
Could we have it be 2 lessons?
Let's see how much time we can use, and so let's see how well you understand it, okay?
Okay.
So, what were we working on? What's our objective today?
Spotlight a bird.
No, what's the main objective today? What did I just say was our learning objective for today? I need you to pay attention so you can understand, okay?
Sorry.
Main objective is to identify the main idea of a story and then the supporting details that support that main idea, okay, within a story. Because this is a really important part of reading. This is what a lot of good readers do, is they can find the main idea of the story and then they can find details that support that main idea. So do you know what the main idea is? Do you know what that is? It's what a story is about. It's the most important thing, or it's the summary of what a story is about. So, for example, what about do you remember the stone soup? So the main idea of that story, can you tell me what the main idea of that story was? What was that story about? Do you need some help?
It was about soup, because most of the words said it was about soup. They didn't have the right soup. They didn't get the right ingredients.
So the main idea, yeah, you're right on track. So the main idea of the stone soup story was that two very hungry guys decided to make some soup with help from the village, right?
But they got no help.
They did get help, you remember?
Not before.
Well, yeah, because they couldn't pay for it, right? But the main idea, the whole story was about two guys who made soup for their entire village, right? Or for the entire village.
Why are you rocking my chair?
Okay, pay attention. That we can say that was the main idea, right? That's what the story was about. So I've got some little worksheets here that we can work through together to better understand what a main idea is, okay? So we're gonna work with these little quick stories, and then hopefully by the end of it we'll have a better understanding of what a main idea is, okay?
Okay.
So this first worksheet is called Find the Main Idea, and it's got 3 little short stories, and then me and you can work together to come up with what the main idea is, okay? So it says right here, it says the main idea is the most important idea of what a story or a paragraph. The main idea tells what the story or paragraph is mostly about. Read the stories below carefully and we'll select the correct main idea for each one.
Did you write this?
Nope, this one I found on the internet. This was written by another teacher to help me. Okay, you ready? All right, so we're going to read the first little story, and then you're going to help me choose which one of these is the main idea. You ready? Okay. Susie threw the frisbee for Pete. The frisbee landed in a tall tree. It was stuck in the branches. Pete barked and barked, then a gust of wind blew the frisbee loose. Pete finally caught the frisbee. He stopped barking and started wagging his tail instead. What is the main idea? Pete barks at squirrels in the tree, or Pete is excited to play fetch with his toy?
Excited to play fetch with his toy because there was nothing that said about squirrels.
Yeah, we didn't hear about anything about squirrels in the story, did we?
That's like another story.
Yeah, so you think it was Pete is excited to play fetch with his toy? Yeah, I would agree with you because the other selection was Pete barks at squirrels in the tree, but there were no squirrels in the tree, were there? That wasn't what the story, that's not what that paragraph was about, was it?
And he was barking to play with his toy, but not a squirrel.
Yeah, he was barking to get his frisbee down, wasn't he? He wanted to play with his frisbee. There weren't squirrels in the story.
I think they said that because he was barking up at a tree.
They were trying to get you to slip up, but you paid attention. And that whole paragraph was about Pete and how excited he was to play fetch with his toy, right? All right, good job. You ready for the next one? Okay. The three little birds patiently waited for their mom to return with lunch. Their stomachs grumbled as they thought about their favorite food, worms. It was a windy day, so it took their mom longer to return. They played a game to keep their minds off of lunch. When their mom returned, they quickly ate up all the worms. Okay, so we got some choices. What is the main idea? The little birds were very hungry, or it was a windy day?
The little birds were hungry.
I would agree. Why do you think it was that one and not it was a windy day?
Because if it was a windy day, it would just talk about a windy day in the whole story.
So the whole paragraph wasn't about how it was a windy day. The whole paragraph was about how hungry the birds were.
It even said it. The birds were hungry.
It also said it was a windy day, but that wasn't the point of the whole story.
Because that was only once in the whole story.
Yeah, that was just one little sentence, wasn't it?
The other things were just about the birds were hungry.
Yeah, everything else in the story or in the paragraph is about the birds being hungry. So the main idea is that the little birds were very hungry. All right, let's keep going. You ready? Okay. Scott was having a very busy day. He needed to write a report, answer the phone, and check his email. His boss came by and dropped off some papers. At noon, he quickly ate his lunch. When he returned to his desk, he checked his messages and got back to work. All right, so what's the main idea? Scott ate his lunch after work, or Scott is having a very busy day at work?
Scott is having a very busy day.
Why?
Because there was only one sentence about him eating lunch, and it wasn't after work because he went back to work.
Yeah, you're listening a lot to the story. I really like that you're paying attention to the details because he ate it in the middle of lunch or middle of work and then he went right back to work. So it wasn't after work.
That would just be a lie.
Yeah, that's not in the story at all. So you're paying attention to what we're reading and you're picking out the main ideas.
Are we gonna use Pigs Make Me Sneeze, please?
No, I didn't look that one over. We're gonna use How the Grinch Stole Christmas though.
When are we ever gonna read that book?
We'll read that book when I have a good lesson for it. I think after this one we're gonna read the you know what, you want to read this one instead? We can read the Gruffalo. That one's pretty good.
Yeah, I want to read it.
Okay, so we'll read the Gruffalo for the main idea, supporting details, okay? All right, so we read those. We got a good idea.
I want to do more.
We are. We're going to keep working with the main idea because I really want you to understand that because it's really important to becoming a good reader.
Am I a good reader?
You are. You're a very good reader. But I want you to keep getting better and better.
I already know the main idea. I learned that in kindergarten.
Well, we're going to keep working with it because it's really important. All right, so I've got two more, and this time I want you to write it, and then I'll read it, and we'll talk about it together, okay?
Write what?
The main idea. So I want you to read it, and then you're going to tell me right down here in these little areas what the main idea is, okay? So read it. You can read it out loud. You can read it to yourself, whatever you're comfortable with.
Can you read it? Will you read it?
I'll read the next one. We'll do the next one together. Or do you want to do that one together and then you can do this one by yourself?
No, I want to do this one by myself so I can get it over with.
Okay, if you want to do that one by yourself. I just want to see how you do.
I already know the main idea.
Write it down.
Friends.
Write it down. Write down what you think the main idea is. What that whole little paragraph or little story is about. Write down what you think it is. The main idea is. And then we'll talk about it.
Friends. Because all the sentences said about friends.
What about them?
They said they were helpful, kind, caring, like to talk.
Okay, those are all supporting details. But what do you think the main point of the whole paragraph was? I don't think it was just friends. Friends isn't the main idea.
Friends helping.
It's got to have a what it was about. What was this whole paragraph about? Read it again. And tell me what it was all about. It wasn't just about friends. It was something specific about friends.
Friends love each other because
Read it.
Friends are always there together.
Friends are always there for each other. Write that down if that's what you think the main idea. And then we'll talk about it, okay?
Jack out so it'll be quiet.
Babe, can you let the dogs out? All right. So you wrote, friends are always there. So you think that's the main idea of this paragraph? Okay. So let's read it and let's see if I agree with you, okay? Friends are always there for each other. It's wonderful to have friends. Friends like to play and talk. Friends may not always get along, but they will always work to make up. When friends are sad, they will help each other be happy, no matter what. Friends are always there for each other. Yeah, I think that the main idea of this whole paragraph is that friends are always there for each other. We're going to come back to this when we start working with supporting details, okay?
Okay.
But I agree that this is a good main idea.
Can I be like this?
Yeah, that's fine, as long as you speak up and we can hear you. So
Okay.
that's a good main idea. I think you really understood that one. So this one is going to be the same thing, except for this time we'll start and we'll work through it together, okay? All right, let's listen. And you're going to tell me, and then we'll talk about it together. You ready? Just like humans, plants need water and food to survive. Plant food comes in the form of nutrients. Plants get nutrients from the soil. They get water and nutrients from the soil through their roots. Plants also need sun and air in order to grow. If plants don't have enough light, they will be weak and won't grow. In order to live, plants need food, water, soil, sun, and air.
I know the main idea.
What?
It's plants are like people, because all of that said plants are like people, and it actually showed the way. Or wait, is it taking care how you take care of a plant or what it needs?
I like your train of thought. Keep going. I like what you're thinking.
What a plant needs. I think that's the main idea.
Yeah.
I think it shows us what a plant needs.
So you think the main idea, I'm just going to rephrase it. All right. You ready?
Mhm.
Because I'm taking exactly what you said. I'm just going to say it a little differently. You said you think it's about what plants need. So I would write the main idea. This is how I would say it. I would say the story's main idea is plants need lots of things to survive. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see how I did that?
Mm-hmm.
We said the same thing. I just said it a little differently, right? Right?
Mhm.
So do you agree that the whole main idea of what this was about is that plants need a lot of things to survive, a lot of different things to survive?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to write that down for me? Come on. Come on, we got to work on your writing just as much as your reading.
Can I just say what I said?
Hmm?
Can I say what I said?
Yeah, you can write down what you said. Or you can just write plants need lots of things to survive.
I'm just gonna write what plants need.
Okay. If you're more comfortable with that.
How do you spell what?
Sound it out.
Oh. Sounds like a U.
W.
W.
There you go.
I spelled one. W. H.
Yep.
A.
Mm-hmm.
T.
Yep, you got it.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, what plants need is the main idea for that one.
That we spelled need.
Yeah. Your B and your D are a little mixed up, but that's okay. It happens.
Here, next lesson.
What, B and D's?
Mm.
I can't make a whole lesson about flipping your B's and your D's
Why not?
because that'll take 5 seconds to teach you.
Doing it in a harder way would be fine.
Okay, so we've worked on what a main idea is. Let me see the pen, please. You're getting distracted. Thank you. So we've worked on what the main idea is. Let me grab this other worksheet really quick because we're also going to work on what a supporting detail is.
Now where's the pen?
Sit up, please.
Now where's the pen?
I have it. Okay, so the main idea is what the story is about, right?
Uh-huh.
So what do you think a supporting detail is? Because that's the other thing that we're covering today. So what would a supporting detail be?
I don't know supporting details.
A supporting details information that tells more about, explains, or describes the main idea.
The main that like in Peter, how I described how it's not the squirrel, it's the other, it's the main idea. The main idea is the other one.
So just as an example, what did we say the main idea of the stone soup was?
The soup.
It was two hungry guys
Oh yeah.
make soup for
Yeah.
the whole town. So a detail that I could use to show that that's the main idea is that I could say one of the details is that they got out a pan and they started making stone soup. That would support that the story is about two guys who made soup for an entire town. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the detail is them making soup. It starts with them making soup. So another example, let's use the stories we did at the beginning of the lesson, okay? Where we found the main idea for the dog, the birds, and
I just said the main idea for the dog already.
we did. We found the main idea, but now we're going to look into this little paragraph. We're going to find supporting details. Okay? So we're going to listen for.
I already told you the supporting detail
No,
of the dog.
you told me the main idea, but now I want examples of the supporting details. We're working on it together, so you can do it on your own. Okay, you ready? So we said the main idea for the first one is Pete is excited to play fetch with his toy. Please stop looking at the camera and look at me. Thank you. Okay, we said Pete is excited to play fetch with his toy, right? If that's the main idea of the paragraph, we have to find details that support that. Okay.
He's barking up at his toy.
Yeah.
Not a
So
squirrel.
Pete barked and barked at his toy. That would be a supporting detail that he's excited to play fetch with his toy. Another detail.
It's your turn.
Yeah, I know. Another detail that I would pick is Pete finally caught the frisbee. He stopped barking and started wagging his tail instead. So he stopped barking and started wagging his tail. When a dog wags his tail, it usually means he's excited. So I would say he stopped barking and started wagging his tail. Supports the main idea that Pete is excited to play fetch with his toy. So there, we found two supporting details that support the main idea. Does that make sense to you?
So we're done?
We're done with that one. We got a lot of work to do. Like I told you, we need to pay attention so we can understand these ideas, okay?
This is only this part.
Yeah, this is only a small part. We got to keep going. You ready? We're going to do the birds next, okay?
Is this just to show me what you know?
No, we're not even there yet. Let's focus. Let's stop asking questions so we can get through all our work, okay? You ready? So we read this story about the birds, right? And we said that the main idea of that story is that the little birds were very hungry. What detail in the story supports that main idea?
The writing, because it even says it.
What detail? What part of the writing? Please wait for it.
The first part of the writing.
You're just guessing right now. I need you to actually tell me.
I'm not guessing.
Okay, I'm gonna read the story. You tell me when you have a detail that supports that the birds were very hungry, okay? The three little birds patiently waited for their mom to return with lunch. Their stomachs grumbled as they thought about their favorite food, worms. It was a windy day, so it took their mom longer to return. They played a game to keep their minds off of lunch. When their mom returned, they quickly ate up all the worms. So what?
They quickly ate up all the worms because that shows that they're very hungry.
Yeah, see, that's a detail that supports the main idea.
Okay,
Very
it's
good.
your turn.
Yep. So another one that I would say is their stomachs grumbled as they thought about their favorite food.
Eat worms.
So if their stomachs are grumbling, that means they're hungry, right?
very hungry.
Yeah, so if their stomachs are grumbling, that supports the main idea that the birds were very, very hungry.
Like how I'm.
Yeah, me too. Maybe we'll get lunch after this.
How do you eat lunch?
Well, I didn't.
Could we go somewhere and get lunch?
Maybe. I'll ask Danielle.
I guess I could have another lunch.
Second lunch? Heck yeah. All right, you ready? Let's keep working. So Scott was having a very busy day. He needed to write a report, answer the phone, and check his email. His boss came by and dropped off some papers. At noon, he quickly ate his lunch. When he returned to his desk, he checked his messages and got back to work. What details in that paragraph support that Scott is having a very busy day at work?
Because of how he says it. Because he says he has to check his email, he has to do all this
Very
stuff.
good. So the supporting detail you gave me is he needed to write a report, answer the phone, and check his email. That detail in the writing supports that he's having a very busy day. Good job. Another one. Another one I would use, I would say when he returned to his desk, he checked his messages and got back to work.
But don't you get it? He ate his lunch. Don't you get it? When he ate his lunch, was he ate it before, so he could do his work and didn't have to worry about lunch?
Well, it says he quickly ate his lunch too, so he ate it very fast. So that means, but we could use that as a detail too, because he ate his lunch fast, so he'd get right back to work because he's busy, right? Yeah, so we could use that as a supporting detail. That's good. What's that?
Start reading now. Yay.
Start reading now. What?
It's time to start reading.
Well, we're gonna use these other worksheets still. I really want to drive this point home, okay? So you really understand.
Only lesson 1.
Well, this is the first part of our lesson. And then we're gonna do, I've got 2 more stories and then we're gonna read our book, okay?
It's been like an hour.
Yeah, it's been like 20 minutes. All right, you ready? So I'm gonna read the plants again, and then you're gonna give me, please don't look at the camera, look at me. Then you're gonna give me supporting details that support the main idea you came up with, okay? You ready? Just like humans, plants need water and food to survive. Plant food comes in the form of nutrients. Plants get nutrients from the soil. They get water and nutrients from the soil through their roots. Plants also need sun and air in order to grow. If plants don't have enough light, they will be weak and won't grow. In order to live, plants need food, water, soil, sun, and air.
Can I have that?
What? No.
No, I didn't want. I promise I
Stop.
won't get distracted.
You're getting distracted right now. And you don't even have the pen. So you wrote the main idea is about, the story is about what plants need. So what supporting detail? Yeah, you wrote what plants need. So it's supposed to be what plants need. So what supporting details in the story support that main idea that you wrote?
It tells us, just like it tells us everything they need. They need water, they need fresh soil, they need sunlight, they need wind.
Yeah, so one of the details is plants need sun and air in order to grow.
They need bees.
What's another one?
I already did that. It's your turn.
Nope, these are yours. We're not taking turns this time. I want you to support your own main idea you wrote. So you got one supporting detail. Let's get another one.
Oh.
So you said that the main idea is what plants need. And you said one of the details that support that are plants need sun and air in order to grow, which I agree with.
I don't know another one.
Listen to this first 2 sentences and see if you can find a detail that supports your main idea, okay? Just like humans, plants need water and food to survive. Plant food comes in the form of nutrients.
Nutrients?
Yeah,
Plants need nutrients?
yeah, plants need
Okay.
nutrients to survive.
Okay, little.
Or you could say plants need water and food.
I already said what I said.
I know, please listen. Do not interrupt me, thank you. Plants need water and food to survive. And you wrote that your main idea was what plants need. So yeah, plants need water and food to survive would support that detail.
Need.
Please stop. I know you wrote it wrong. Well, look, I fixed it. What plants need.
Okay. Now?
Okay, now we're going to read the Friends story again, okay? Please put your feet up. Thank you.
Why?
So I can put stuff on the floor. All right, pay attention. You said that the main idea of this story was that friends are always there for each other, right?
Yeah.
That's what you wrote. So listen to details that support that idea, okay? Friends are always there for each other. It's wonderful to have friends. Friends like to play and talk. Friends may not always get along, but they will always work to make up. When friends are sad, they will help each other be happy, no matter what. Friends are always there for each other. So what details support that friends are always there for each other?
The friends help you no matter what.
Yeah.
And they'll always be there.
When friends are sad, they will help each other be happy, no matter what. Yeah, so friends are always there. Friends will help you be happy no matter what. Yeah, that supports your main idea. What's another one? I'm going to read these two sentences. You tell me if there's another one that supports your main idea, okay?
So
Please sit up. Please sit up.
why?
Because your shirt's riding up and stuff. Please sit up. Here. Thank you. All right, listen to these two sentences. Stop looking at the camera. Look at me. Friends like to play and talk. Friends may not always get along, but they will always work to make up. Is there anything in those sentences that support your main idea of friends are always there?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's friends help each other.
Didn't say that in there.
I meant in another sentence.
Yeah, we used that one. We're looking for a second detail. You want me to read those sentences again?
No, I'm thinking.
Okay, keep thinking.
Maybe
That's okay. I'm okay with reading it again if you need it.
I'm not a good reader.
You're a great reader. You're just not a good listener right now. Did you put your listening ears on? Let me see. Let me see your ears. All right, pay attention. Ready? So we're looking for details that support your main idea. Okay? Ready? Friends like to play and talk. Friends may not always get along, but they will always work to make up.
Friends may never get along, but they always will make up.
Perfect.
Okay.
So your main idea is friends are always there. And a detail that supports that is they will always work to make up. You see how we did that?
Mm-hmm.
Good job. Okay. So now we're gonna read some bigger stories. We're gonna read some actual stories now. Okay?
Can I get one of our stories from down there?
No, I've got two up here. I've got two short stories for us to read.
How are we
But these are
still
actual.
there?
What's that?
How are we still in reading in the front?
I told you how important this was. This is a big part of what readers do.
This only I feel like it's been half an hour.
I don't know how much time it is. Let's not worry about that, okay? Okay, so I've got these little cheat sheets for us that'll help us with our stories we're about to read, okay? So the main idea is right in the center. You see the way they did that? The main idea is what it is about, right?
I have to make 4 details. I have to make 4 details.
No, I'm only going to have you do 2 when you do it on your own. We're going to come up with 4, me and you. But when you do it with the show me what you know, we're going to have you just do 2, okay?
Can I just do 2 and show you what I know now?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't think you're quite ready yet.
Yeah, I am.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I am.
Please stop.
I already did.
If you want to get all the lessons done in one recording, I need you to stop and pay attention. Stop trying to rush through it because you're not going to learn anything if we rush through stuff. Okay?
Okay.
The faster you go, the less you learn, okay? It's not about speed, it's about understanding what I'm trying to teach you, okay? So the main idea is right in the middle. Why is it right in the middle?
Because that's what all the details are heading to.
Right, that's the most important thing. That's what it is about, right? That's why the story, well, not why, but that's what the story is saying, okay? These are all details that support that guy, okay? So that's what we're going to make for this first story, okay? Remember, all you're doing is trying to think about what the story's about and then supporting why you think that.
After
Okay?
show me what you know, can we ride our bikes?
Yeah, we'll go outside and do some bike ride.
After
lunch, actually. Daddy's hungry.
Maybe we can go to Summit.
We'll see. Okay, so I printed 2 of them because we got 2 stories before I read our book, okay? Okay. We'll do one together. You'll show me what you know on the second one, then we'll read our book, okay? And during the book, we're going to think about what it's about, key details. We'll talk about it, and then we'll wrap the lesson up, okay? Sound good? Sound like a plan? All right, make sure your listening ears are on.
Did I get a candy after?
Let's put our listening ears on. Let's stop worrying about candy. I want to make sure they're on because we don't want to have to repeat this, okay? Ready? Okay. Here, you can hold this. Remember, that's what we're learning, okay? So the first story is called Rumpelstiltskin.
Wait, I've heard this story.
Have you? I bet you have. It's pretty popular.
I've heard it on YouTube.
Have you? All right. You ready?
It's a.
Can I read, please? Okay. Once upon a time, there was an old carpenter who wanted to impress the king. Since he did not have great wealth, he told the king that his daughter could spin straw into gold. After hearing this, the king called for the daughter and locked her into a room full of straw. Turn this straw into gold, or I will leave you in this room forever, he said. The carpenter's daughter did not know what to do. She did not know how to spin straw into gold. As she cried, a small creature appeared and asked her why she was crying. If I don't turn this straw into gold, I will be locked in here forever, she wept. The creature said he could spin the straw into gold, but wanted her necklace in return. She agreed, and the creature began magically turning the straw into gold, solid gold coins. The next day, the king was overjoyed to find the room full of gold. He moved the girl into a bigger room filled with more straw. Turn all this straw into gold, or I will lock you in here forever, commanded the king. Just as she was losing hope, the strange creature appeared again that night. She asked him again to work his magic, but this time he wanted the young woman's ring in return for his work. She gave the creature her ring, and once again he spun all the straw in the room into gold. When the king walked in the next morning, he was ecstatic. The gold was piled high, up to his eyes. The king moved the girl into an even bigger room. This time, however, he told the carpenter's daughter that he would marry her if she succeeded one last time. Like the night before, the creature appeared again and offered his help. With no more jewelry to take, the creature demanded the young woman's firstborn child. She reluctantly agreed, and once again the creature turned the straw into gold. The king soon married the carpenter's daughter, and they had a beautiful baby together. One stormy night, the creature returned to claim his reward. She offered the creature jewels and riches instead. Anything you want, but please not my child, she cried. The creature thought it over. If you can guess my name, I will disappear forever. I will give you 1 week to think, he said.
Rumpelstiltskin?
The young woman had a trick up her sleeve. She sent a messenger to follow the creature home. On the way there, he overheard the creature singing a song that revealed his name. The messenger rushed back to tell his queen the good news. When the creature returned a week later, the carpenter's daughter screamed out the name the messenger had heard, Rumpelstiltskin. And in a puff of smoke, the creature disappeared forever.
Why didn't it sing the song?
What?
Why didn't it sing the song?
What song?
The song that the creature was singing.
Oh, I don't know. It didn't say what that. It said there was a song that had his name in it. All right. So good story, wasn't it?
Do I need to read this?
Nope, don't worry. That's why I folded it over. So what would you say the main idea of Rumpelstiltskin is? What was that story about?
It was about him turning straw to gold, because that was like half of the story, with the whole thing.
Do you think the whole story was about Rumpelstiltskin turning straw into gold?
Well, the whole
That was the
story
most important.
was about him.
That was the
about
most.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Rumpelstiltskin was in it, right? He was one of the main characters. So there was the carpenter's daughter, there was the king, and Rumpelstiltskin, right?
You like where I'm going?
Yeah. Let's keep thinking. Let's keep our train of thought going, okay?
Okay.
So those are the main characters, right? Rumpelstiltskin, the carpenter's daughter, and the king, right? Those are our main characters. So what's the main idea? What was the whole most important thing in this story? What was it about?
I don't know. This is hard.
This one is a little harder. That's why I thought we would do this one together before I gave you the other one, because this one's a little more difficult. So to come up with the main idea, let's think about, we thought about the main characters. What's the setting? Where's it happening? It's all in the castle, right?
Yeah. So would it be about a little girl?
She's a young girl, yeah. So what happens to her in the story? What happens to her?
She gets locked up so she can't spin straw into gold.
She gets locked up because somebody told the king that she could spin straw into gold. What'd she do? How she accomplished that task?
She started crying, and then Rumpelstiltskin came. Well, Rumpelstiltskin came.
Yep, Rumpelstiltskin showed up when she was crying because she couldn't turn it into gold. And then what'd she do?
She gave him her necklace.
She
I
gave him
want to say something, but I don't think it's even that it.
What? Keep going. I like it.
I thought it was all about Rumpelstiltskin getting awarded, because if you think about it, all those parts had him get awarded. The third one had him get awarded. The second one had him get awarded. he kept getting awarded.
Yeah, he did. He did keep getting where he kept asking for more and more from her, right? He asked for the ring, he asked for the necklace, and then when she ran out of stuff that she owned, she promised him what?
That he can have her first baby.
Yeah, so Rumpelstiltskin's greedy, right? He's taking everything he can from her, right? So how about this? We've talked about the girl. We've talked about Rumpelstiltskin, and we've talked about the king locking her up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's connect all those ideas, and we'll come up with the main idea. Okay? I think we're right on track. We talked about all the big important facts.
We talked about all
So
the climax.
we did. What was the climax?
It was she got locked up because that was
That was the conflict. That's where that roller coaster started. Where she got locked up. What was the big thing that happened?
The elf king.
Hmm?
The elf king.
Yep, that was part of the rising action. Rumpelstiltskin showed up, right?
And then gold, the gold, right?
Yep, he started making the gold. But what happened? What was the big thing that happened?
He kept.
It was right near the end. The biggest part was right near the end.
When they guessed his name.
Yeah, what did he do?
He disappeared into nothing.
He disappeared forever, right?
Yep, he should have made that deal. Should have said, I'll disappear and go to another family.
Yeah, so the climax was probably the princess coming up with his name and making him disappear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we've got the conflict, we've got the climax, we got the conclusion. So thinking of all those things, the main idea of the story involves all of those ideas, right?
There's different versions.
So,
that's why I'm so confused.
Yeah, there are different versions of this story.
Mm-hmm.
But the main idea is all the things we talked about, right? The story is about a greedy king who locks up a maiden, or locks up
A
a
young
girl. Yeah, we can say a young girl. A greedy king locks up a young girl, and she makes a deal with a creature.
I'll call him elf because in the real version, when you see it, he looks like
He
an
does
elf.
look like it. We'll just say a creature. How about that?
Why can't we just say he's an elephant elf?
What's that?
Why can't we just say he's a very, very old
Let's just
elf?
call him a creature, Liv, because we're getting off track here. We want to stay on track.
Okay, I can't stay on track. There's so much going on.
Yeah, you can.
It's hard.
Nope, you're doing fine. So the main idea, what the story is about, is a greedy king who locks up a girl. That makes a deal.
With the creature?
With a creature. All right, so we have our main idea. We have the most important thing of the story, right? Is a greedy king locks up a girl who makes a deal with a creature. You like that?
I guess.
You see how we got there?
Uh-huh.
How did we get there? We took all that information, right? We took the main characters. We took the...
Did we even get some of the details?
We'll get there. I'm pretty sure you can start pointing out the details as soon as because once you have that main idea, those details just pop out, don't they? Can you give me one detail right now? I bet you can.
That he's greedy.
How do you know he's greedy?
Because he asked for all that expensive stuff.
So Rumpelstiltskin's greedy?
Yeah.
So
he asked for expensive and loved things.
Like takes all her possessions, right? He takes everything she has.
Mm-hmm.
Because she doesn't have a lot when she's locked up, but he just takes everything that she has, right?
Yeah.
Let's focus on me. So, one of the details of supporting that main idea we came up with is that the young girl gives all her possessions to the creature, right? That supports that it's about a young girl who makes a deal with a creature, right? I agree. Good job. Okay. Let me write that down real quick.
I still can't believe you flew, Daddy.
I know.
You super Daddy.
What's another detail that supports our main idea we came up with? What'd the king do?
You locked her up.
And told her to do what?
Spend shot into gold. No one.
Or what? What was going to happen to her? If,
Or she'd be locked up forever.
yeah, so she'd probably die, huh? So the king
It's very, very violent.
King
It's very, very violent.
locked her up over and over, didn't he?
3 times. Let's say, because that's the way I write it now.
Good job. All right. I bet we can find 2 more. I bet we can fill this whole chart out together. So what's another detail? What else supports that this story is about a greedy king who locks up a girl that makes a deal with a greedy creature?
Another way that they're greedy?
Nope, just another thing, just any detail that supports what we came up with is the main idea.
What's the main idea again?
The main idea is that this story is about a greedy king who locks up a girl that makes a deal with a greedy creature. What's another detail in the story that supports that?
The words. Because the words actually even say it. They tell you everything. Can I hold the pen?
Nope. We're still thinking of details. Keep working with me.
Well, I don't know anymore. Could you do 2 since I did 2?
Nope, we're working together. So we've got the king locked her up over and over to make more gold. And then we wrote the young girl gives all her possessions to Rumpelstiltskin. What about Rumpelstiltskin offering to complete her task?
Oh, and she couldn't complete them?
So the girl cried. Here, I'll come up with one detail for you. So I wrote that Rumpelstiltskin appears and agrees to spin the straw into gold. That supports our main idea, right?
So are we over now?
Nope, we got one more detail. Now we got another whole story. It's going to be a show me what you know. Okay, please sit up. Because I don't like when you sit like that because I know you're not paying attention to me.
I am.
No, sit up and look at me, please.
And now I'm cold.
Sit up and look. Please stop. All right. What's another detail? Look at me.
I'm thinking.
Okay. Focus up.
How can I focus if you're yelling at me?
I'm not yelling. I'm quiet. Could we add another detail about Rumpelstiltskin himself?
Mm-hmm.
What should we add about him in there? What's another detail that supports the stories about him?
All I can think of is the words.
What words, Liv?
The words that say about and talk about everything.
Those
about-
words are the details. I need you to point out what words support it, Liv. You can't just say the words support it. You got to tell me which words specifically support it.
The words when he starts singing the song,
What does that support?
it supports him disappearing.
I don't think the song's important. What about him making the deal to take her baby?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what about
Is
that?
that our last detail?
Yep, that'll be a fourth detail. We came up with 4 details.
And it killed me.
No, you were just fine.
It was so
It wasn't that difficult.
Well, do we have our first lesson over?
No, the lessons are combined. Though. They're not. One doesn't end and another begins.
Why did I ever ask to combine them? So this would be lesson 1 after show me what you know, and then the books would be lesson 2.
We're not splitting it like that. Like we're just working together here. Okay. Okay. So you see how we came up with details that support our main idea, and we did that all with one big main story, right? So we said the main idea is a greedy king holds a girl hostage that makes a deal with a greedy creature. And the details that support that is the girl cries, or a young girl gives all her possessions to Rumpelstiltskin. A king locked her up over and over to make more gold. Rumpelstiltskin makes a deal for her baby. And Rumpelstiltskin turns all the straw into gold. So those are all details that support our main idea, right? Okay. So this next story, either I can read it to you and you can fill it out, or you can read it yourself.
You read it and I fill it out.
Okay.
And then extra work.
Okay, I can read. If me reading lets you focus.
I only have to do 2.
Yep, you're gonna do 2 key details, but you're gonna have to come up with a main idea for this story, okay?
You didn't write down all our ideas.
I did. I wrote it on the other one.
Hmm.
I filled one out for Rumpelstiltskin, and we're gonna fill out one for this other story.
What is it? Our other story called?
It's called The Ugly Duckling.
Oh, I've heard it.
Yeah, so you have some background knowledge about what we're gonna talk about.
I already know it. One of the main ideas.
There's not one main idea. There's only one main idea for this story.
Well, I know what the main idea. The main idea is about an ugly swan because it's really a swan, not a duck. That's the main idea. Do I really have to write it?
Okay. Sorry. All right. So the story is called The Ugly Duckling. Okay. Are you ready?
Okay.
You have to pay attention so you can write down what you think your main idea is, okay?
Let me hook this up until I need it.
Okay, you ready?
Uh-huh.
You ready for me to start reading? Okay.
Uh-huh.
It was a beautiful spring morning on a small farm near the woods. In a cool, shaded corner, a duck built a warm nest to sit on her 4 precious eggs. Strangely, one of the eggs was much larger than the rest. To her excitement, the egg started to rumble and crack. 1, 2, 3 eggs popped open, and 3 little ducklings poked their heads into the world. At the same time, the biggest egg began to crack as well. To the mother's surprise, a big gray duckling stumbled out of the egg. Although he was different and not as cute as the other ducklings, she loved him nonetheless. The next day, the duck introduced her family to the other animals on the farm. Seeing the strange gray duckling, the pig, mallard, and mouse all burst out laughing. The poor duckling bowed his head in shame. He felt like he didn't belong. That night, as his family slept near the barn, the gray duckling decided to leave to find people that liked him for who he was. Before long, he ran into a kind old woman, her rooster, and her cat. She invited him into her home, and they all treated him like family. Over time, the little gray duckling began to grow. Although he was happy, he always felt something was missing. One day, as he stared out on the pond, he saw a family of beautiful swans waiting in the cool breeze. He wanted to go swimming with them. As he approached the pond, he saw his reflection for the first time. The ugly duckling had grown into a beautiful swan. From below, the cat and rooster happily watched their friend fly high in the sky. Finally, the little gray duckling had found himself.
What's the main idea?
I don't know. You gotta fight it.
Help me.
Huh?
Will you help me?
This is the show me what you know part. What was the main idea of that story?
The ugly duck?
What about it?
He was ugly.
I don't think the main idea of the story was that the ugly duck was ugly.
He was in the wrong nest.
Is there anything to support that he was in the wrong nest?
The beginning. The words, how they said.
Maybe that's not it, huh?
But he was in the wrong nest.
Yeah, he's not a duck. But I don't think that's the main idea of the story, do you?
No.
No, I don't
What's
think
a
so.
swan baby called?
I don't know what a swan baby's called, actually. It's a good question.
I think they're still called swans.
It might be. Keep thinking. Focus up.
I wanted to know what the baby was so I could say this. The whole story was about the baby. I can't just say swan. I don't know. This is really hard.
It's a little hard, but it's okay to struggle a little bit when we're learning new stuff.
It's really more than just a little.
I know. Keep thinking though. I know you can do this.
Do you?
You got a big beautiful brain that can do this. What was the whole story about?
The ugly duckling.
What about the ugly duck? I agree, the ugly duckling is probably the main character, right?
The main idea.
Well, he's the main character. So what about him is the main idea of the story? What'd you learn about the ugly duckling?
He's ugly.
No, I don't think that's the main part. He's not even ugly, right? At the end of the story, what is he?
Pretty swan.
He's a beautiful swan.
For most of the story, the whole other story was he was an ugly.
Was he really ugly though?
On the inside.
Okay, follow that train of thought. If he wasn't really ugly, what was the whole point of the story?
He was beautiful. He was beautiful in his own way.
He was beautiful in his own way.
Yeah, I'm writing
Okay. If you can support it, write that down.
Beautiful in own way. How do you spell beautiful?
Sound it out.
Beau. I know it's a B.
Beautiful.
F-U-L.
Beautiful. Okay, let's find details that support what you thought the main idea was.
I only have to do 2 details.
Yep, let's find 2 details that support that the story is about, or that the main idea of the story is the ugly duckling is beautiful in his own way. Please sit up and grab the paper and pen.
Let me think.
You're not thinking if you're laying down and yawning.
I can think while I'm yawning.
You're crushing your paper. Please sit up and put it in your lap. Olivia, please sit up. You're messing up. Nope. You can sit up like a big girl, please. We got to get through this lesson. You wanted to do sit up and put this in your lap. Thank you.
After this, is it over?
No, it's not. Please stop. You do.
No.
You want me to reread part of it or reread it so you can come up with some details with your main idea in your mind? Okay, so keep your main idea in your mind.
Just want to separate these lessons.
It's too late. The main idea in your mind, right? What's your main idea? What's your main idea? What is your main idea? What do you have written down? Okay, so with that in your mind, I want you to think about details that support that as I read, okay? You're drawing on your arm right now. Stop messing with the pen.
I'm not drawing on my arm.
Ready? Listen for details. It was a beautiful spring morning on a small farm near the woods. In a cool, shaded corner, a duck built a warm nest to sit on her 4 precious eggs. Liv.
What?
Listen.
I am.
Stop yelling. Do not yell at me. Just because you're getting frustrated does not mean you take it out. Ready?
It's too hard.
It's not hard. You're just not focused. You're losing your focus. You might need a quick brain break. You want to take a quick 5-minute brain or 30-second brain break? All right, stand up for me. Stand up. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Stand up. Over here. Give me 5 jumping jacks. Go, go. We gotta get your brain focused. Go, 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 go. 5. 5 jumping jacks. Okay, go over there and do it. Go, go, go. 5 jumping jacks. All right, there you go. Run to me. Run to me. Run, run, run. Fast, fast, fast. There you go. Run back. All right, run to me. All right. That comes it down. Get your brain running again. Get your brain flowing.
That didn't work. It just tired me out.
No, it didn't. Sit down.
No, I can't think at all.
Yes, you can. Here you go.
No, now I mean.
Liv, stop. Please. All right, here you go. Ready? I'm going to read the story and we're going to listen for key details that support that the ugly duckling was beautiful in his own way. Ready? Okay, listen. It was a beautiful spring morning on a small farm near the woods. In a cool, shaded corner, a duck built a warm nest to sit on her four precious eggs. Strangely, one of the eggs was much larger than the rest. To her excitement, the eggs started to rumble and crack. One, two, three eggs popped open, and three little ducklings poked their heads into the world. At the same time, the biggest egg began to crack as well. To the mother's surprise, a big gray duckling stumbled out of the egg. Although he was different and not as cute as the other ducklings, she loved him nonetheless. The next day, the duck introduced her family to the other animals on the farm. Seeing the strange gray duckling, the pig, mallard, and mouse all burst out laughing. The poor duckling bowed his head in shame. He felt like he didn't belong. That night, as his family slept near the barn, the gray duckling decided to leave to find people that liked him for who he was. Before long, he ran into a kind old woman, her rooster, and her cat. She invited him into her home, and they all treated him like family. Over time, the little gray duckling began to grow. Although he was happy, he always felt something was missing. One day, as he stared out on the pond, he saw a family of beautiful swans waiting in the cool breeze. He wanted to go swimming with them. As he approached the pond, he saw his reflection for the first time. The ugly duckling had grown into a beautiful swan. From below, the cat and rooster happily watched their friend fly high in the sky. Finally, the little gray duckling had found himself.
He found himself.
Does he found himself support that he was beautiful in his own way? Yeah, you could say that
Where'd you take my pen?
because you were being silly with it.
Because I can't focus.
I know, that's why we did some jumping jacks and some running.
What is it? What do I need to write?
I don't know, what'd you come up with? What'd you say? Finally, the little gray duckling had found himself.
He found himself.
hmm What's that mean when it says he found himself?
He's beautiful in his own way. Well, it means he found
his
who
place.
he was.
He found who he was. Yeah, I like that. Need help spelling, or are you good?
Good, my eye just has something
Okay.
in water.
Hmm?
It's making it water.
Yeah, that'll happen. Okay, let's get focused up and finish this up, okay? All right, I'm going to read this last paragraph.
No,
There's another good one in here.
and then I haven't even finished my first one.
Oh, okay. Finish writing. Sorry. I didn't mean to rush you. What word are you on?
He,
Oh, okay. Finish writing. So we can get this other detail in there.
okay, I'm done.
Okay, you ready for the next? I'm going to read this
I'm
paragraph.
ready for the last one.
There's
Last detail I have to make.
there's one. I think there's a good detail in here that supports your main idea. Let me see if you find it, okay? One day, as he stared out on the pond, he saw a family of beautiful swans waiting in the cool breeze. He wanted to go swimming with them. As he approached the pond, he saw his reflection for the first time. The ugly duckling had grown into a beautiful swan. From below, the cat and rooster happily watched their friend fly high in the sky. Are you thinking?
You didn't read it.
Yeah, I did. I just finished.
I didn't hear that.
You didn't hear a detail in there that supports your main idea?
No, I didn't give a sentence.
Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
One day, as he stared out on the pond, he saw a family of beautiful swans waiting in the cool breeze. He wanted to go swimming with them. As he approached the pond, he saw his reflection for the first time. The ugly duckling had grown into a beautiful swan.
He has grown
Into what?
into a swan.
To a beautiful swan.
So I have to write beautiful swan?
You've already written beautiful. You know how to spell that.
Yeah, but it's so much to write. It's so much to think of.
You know what would be faster? Writing rather than whining.
You know what would be faster if we didn't have to do 2 lessons at once?
This was your idea. Go ahead.
No.
Write down your other key detail.
What was it?
What did he turn into?
A beautiful swan.
So, what he wrote it? What
A
he turned into a. Write normal, please. There you go.
This is the worst.
You're doing fine. Less complaining and more writing.
I can't even write. It's running out of ink.
Here, shake it up. Shake it.
I don't know.
I don't know. Keep trying to write.
Ow.
You're doing fine. Just finish your thought. Then we'll read our book. Do one more lesson together.
Wait, another?
Nope, it'll be all together. The rest of this is all going to be together, and then we're going to take it all home and come
What
up
do you
with.
mean home? We're at home.
I mean, take the ideas home. Take the thinking home. We're going to drive it home.
On
Finish
our
writing.
bikes and scooters.
Finish writing.
I'm thinking.
You're not thinking. You already have your thoughts. You just need to write it down.
I forgot that you can distracting me.
I'm not distracting you. You're literally just writing that he turned into a beautiful swan. Okay, keep writing. I'll get you a new pen. Keep writing. Try this one.
Okay, this is better. I finished.
All right. Good job. You did it all on your own, and this shows me that you're actually understanding what I'm teaching and that you can do this stuff on your own.
It doesn't really mean I understand anything.
Yeah, you do. You don't understand how to find a main idea, and you understand how to support that main idea with detail.
What's the next thing?
We're gonna keep up. I'm really pushing that point home because we're gonna do this together. We'll come up with a main idea. We'll come up with supporting details, and then we'll talk about everything we learned today, okay?
Can we just do one detail about it?
2 supporting details.
Okay, and then it's over.
Yep. And we'll talk about everything we learned. We'll see how comfortable you are, and we'll come up with a plan for the next lesson, okay? You ready? So we're going to read The Gruffalo by Julia Donaldson and Alex Scheffler. All right, you ready?
Can't we just do this for 2 lessons in one?
You ready?
Daddy?
Please focus. We're listening for a main idea. We're going to come up with a main idea and 2 supporting ideas, or 2 supporting details,
Can't
okay?
we just
Livia,
listen?
you're not listening to me.
Will you listen to me?
What?
Can we just do this for 2 lessons?
What do you mean?
Main ideas?
We're almost done.
I just want to do it for 2 lessons.
We already did this. We're almost done. We're about done with the lessons for today completely. But we're talking about this story, main idea of this story, supporting details. Then we're going to talk about the learning and figure out what we want to do for the next lesson tomorrow. Okay? So let's listen. What are we doing with the story?
Where
What are we going to do with the Gruffalo?
find the main idea.
And to what? To what?
What?
What have we been working on all day?
I'm trying to say it. It's hard to say.
What?
That.
Supporting details. Put your feet down. Sit up.
Well, I put this away from.
Okay, sit up. You're fine. Sit up.
No.
It's 70 degrees in here. Sit up. You're wasting my time. Please sit up.
Well, then start reading.
No, because you're not paying attention. Pay attention. Ready?
Mm,
Sit up.
I'm
No, you're not. You're leaning back.
because I'm cold and tired.
Well, focus up. You'll survive.
Okay.
Because I do. Ready?
Um,
A mouse took a stroll through the deep, dark wood. A fox saw the mouse, and the mouse looked good. Where are you going to, little brown mouse? Come and have lunch in my underground house. It's terribly kind of you, Fox, but no. I'm going to have lunch with a Gruffalo. A Gruffalo? What's a Gruffalo? A Gruffalo? Why, didn't you know? He has terrible tusks and terrible claws, and terrible teeth in his terrible jaws. Where are you meeting him? Here, by these rocks, and his favorite food is roasted fox.
I know the main idea of the story.
We're not even done with the story. You can't know the main idea.
Yeah, I do. I've read the story before.
Please listen. Do not interrupt me. Thank you. Roasted fox, oh my, Fox said. Goodbye, little mouse, and away he sped. Silly old fox, doesn't he know? There's no such thing as a Gruffalo. On went the mouse through the deep dark wood. An owl saw the mouse, and the mouse looked good. Where are you going to, little brown mouse? Join me for tea in my treetop house. It's a frightfully nice of you, owl, but no. I'm going to have tea with a Gruffalo. A Gruffalo? What's a Gruffalo? A Gruffalo? Why, didn't you know? He has knobbly knees and turned out toes, and a poisonous wart at the end of his nose. Where are you meeting him? Here by this stream, and his favorite food is owl ice cream.
Ew.
Owl ice cream? To wit, to who? Goodbye, little mouse, and away owl flew. Silly old owl, doesn't he know? There's no such thing as a Gruffalo. On went the mouse through the deep dark wood. A snake saw the mouse, and the mouse looked good. Where are you going to, little brown mouse? Come for a feast in my log pile house. It's wonderfully good of you, snake, but no. I'm having a feast with a Gruffalo. A Gruffalo? What's a Gruffalo? A Gruffalo? Why, didn't you know? His eyes are orange and his tongue is black. He has purple prickles all over his back. Where are you meeting him? Here by this lake, and his favorite food is scrambled snake.
Yeah.
Scrambled snake, it's time I hid. Goodbye, little mouse, and away Snake slid. Silly old snake, doesn't he know? There's no such thing as a Gruffalo. Oh? But who is this creature with terrible claws and terrible teeth in his terrible jaws? He has knobbly knees and turned out toes, and a poisonous wart at the end of his nose. His eyes are orange, his tongue is black. He has purple prickles all over his back. Oh, help! Oh, no! It's a Gruffalo! My favorite food, the Gruffalo said. You'll taste good on a slice of bread. Good? Said the mouse. Don't call me good. I'm the scariest creature in this deep dark wood. Just walk behind me and soon you'll see everyone is afraid of me. Oh, sure, said the Gruffalo, bursting with laughter. You'll lead the way and I'll follow after. They walked and walked till the Gruffalo said, I hear a hiss in the grass ahead. It's Snake, said the mouse. Why, Snake, hello. Snake took one look at the Gruffalo. Oh dear, he said, goodbye, little mouse, and slid right into his log pile house. You see, said the mouse, I told you so. Amazing, said the Gruffalo. They walked some more till the Gruffalo said, I hear a hoot in the trees ahead. It's Owl, said the mouse. Why, Owl, hello. Owl took one look at the Gruffalo. Boo-hoo, he said, goodbye, little mouse, and flew right up to his treetop house. You see, said the mouse, I told you so. Astounding, said the Gruffalo. They walked some more till the Gruffalo said, I hear some paws on the path ahead. Who's coming next?
A fox.
Yeah. It's Fox, said the mouse. Why, Fox, hello. Fox took one look at the Gruffalo. Oh, help, he said. Goodbye, little mouse. And then ran right into his underground house. The mouse said, Gruffalo, now you see, everyone is afraid of me. By now my tummy is starting to rumble, and my favorite food is Gruffalo crumble.
That's cool.
Gruffalo crumble, the Gruffalo said, and quick as the wind he turned and he fled. All was quiet in the deep dark wood. The mouse found a nut, and the nut was good. That's a fun book, isn't it?
I didn't really see any main ideas.
You don't think there's a main idea to that book?
I didn't see
It's a little harder with a fiction book when it's a made-up story like this, huh?
anything.
So the main idea, who's our main characters, would you say?
The Gruffalo, the owl, the fox.
I think it's the Gruffalo and the mouse. I think those would be two good main characters, don't you? Yeah. So if we're coming up with a main idea for the Gruffalo, what was the mouse trying to avoid the whole time? What was he trying to get out of?
Okay.
Of being eaten, huh? So you think that might be our main point, our main idea?
Yeah.
The whole story is about him trying not to get eaten, isn't it?
And he says about that things will eat them. So that
Yeah, he says the Gruffalo's favorite food is foxes and owls and snake,
scrambled
snake and
eggs.
owl ice cream. And,
Owl.
yeah, he's telling them the Gruffalo's gonna eat him, right? But he's just trying to trick them.
His real favorite food is mouse on bread.
Yeah, the Gruffalo likes mouse on bread. But how did the mouse trick the Gruffalo too?
He said his favorite food was Gruffalo crumble.
But what'd he do? He took him back through all the animals, right? And said, look how scared they are of me. You can't eat me.
They're really scared of the Gruffalo.
They're really scared of the Gruffalo. He tricked him, didn't he? So what do you think the main idea was? The whole story was about a mouse who was trying not to get eaten, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Do you agree? What's the detail that supports that?
We only have to do one lesson today.
Yeah, we'll be done after this.
Mhm.
So what supports our main idea? If our main idea is the mouse is trying not to get eaten, what supports that?
Mhm.
We just
Yeah.
talked about one pretty much.
Mhm.
What do you do?
He kept telling lies to not get eaten.
Yeah, he lied to all the animals and told them that the Gruffalo was going to eat them.
That's one, so we have one more and then we're
Yeah,
done.
yeah. What's another supporting detail? The mouse was trying not to get eaten.
Because he
So he told all the animals that the Gruffalo was going to eat them.
because he lied about what his favorite food was,
Yep.
and lied about his favorite food too, so he could get away with it.
Well, yeah, he got away from the animals. What's the other thing he got away from so that he didn't get eaten?
Before.
Yeah. So what would our other supporting detail be? What did he do? He tricked the Gruffalo, didn't he?
Yeah. So he
tricked the animals by telling them the Gruffalo was going to eat them.
and
then
he lied.
He lied to the Gruffalo and said he's the scariest thing in this forest, didn't he?
But really, the Gruffalo is.
Really, he was, but the mouse was pretty clever, wasn't he?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Much more clever than that black mouse,
More clever than what?
than the mouse who died
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
get inside.
Yeah. So he is a clever mouse, and the whole story, the main idea, most important thing was it was a mouse trying not to get eaten, huh?
Hmm.
And then we had those supporting details of him tricking all the animals to avoid getting eaten, and him tricking the Gruffalo, so the Gruffalo didn't eat him either. Right?
Hmm.
You see how we did that?
Yep.
We just came up with that in like what, 30 seconds?
No, it took like 1 second.
Yeah, it took us 1 second because we're good readers, aren't we?
It only
Yeah.
took us 2 seconds to come up with 2 details.
Yeah, we came up with details and we came up with a main idea. And that's what good readers do. They come up with that.
A 1 out of 5, I would give it a 3.
You feel comfortable? Your comfort level is about a 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. I still think you got some work to do with main ideas and supporting details, but I think you did pretty good. I think you learned a lot today.
It was hard, but the first part was really, really fun.
Coming up, what was your favorite? Your favorite part was coming up with main ideas?
No, when you said 2 of the main ideas and I got to choose.
Oh, you like that part?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to come up with the main ideas? Yeah, I feel like you're a lot more comfortable with main ideas than you are with supporting details. But when we come into, maybe tomorrow we'll work with, you know what a nonfiction text is? It's a text that's usually informational.
I don't have a phone to text.
No, when I say a text, I mean like
We're
books.
still in this lesson.
Yeah, please stop.
Sorry.
You're fine. When I say a text, I usually mean like a book or an article or something. A nonfiction text is a text that's usually informational.
I thought you had a text.
No, not that kind of text. But yeah, maybe we'll work with a different kind of story to really work on that point. But I think you did really good today. What else do you want to work on tomorrow?
I want to, you know how you have like where you can separate words to be other words, like you know there can be a nick and there can be a pick. You can have a pick and you can have a nick. Combine those and they're pick nick. Separate them and they're nick and pick.
I can come up with a lesson about something like that. But that's different sounds. Those aren't two, like pick isn't a word by itself unless you're thinking of a different. Like picnic is spelled Picnic, but PIC isn't a word by itself, and NIC isn't a word by itself.
Pig can be like a word by itself.
Yeah, but it's spelled differently. We'll talk about that a different day. Have you ever worked with the idea of reading with expression? Do you
I
know what
want
that
to
is?
do that. I want to do it. I want to learn what that is.
You want to learn about reading with expression?
Yeah.
Okay. That'll be a fun one. That's always a really fun one. You've got a lot of good books we can use for that too. All right. Thank you.
Or one of
For
the books,
focusing on-
those books.
Yeah, I can use one of those books.
Yeah.
Thank you. You worked hard today. You did good.
Now it's time to have a bite. After that.
Okay, let's figure out lunch.